It's President Trump versus the world. The planet has erupted into full-blown hysteria over the president's decision to pull America out of the Paris Climate Pact. Landmarks and city halls were lit up in green last night across the world and in some cities here at home in support of the environmental accord. The president calls it an unfair deal that hurts American taxpayers. The global elite disagree.
On a sunny day in the Rose Garden, what could be defined and construed as a dark speech. And as you go through it, more like 4 or 5 dark speeches in there.
The Bible tells us that to minister to the needs of God's creation is an act of worship. To ignore those needs is to dishonor the God who made us. And that is just what we're doing by walking away from this accord.
This is a crazy decision. It's against the facts, it's against science, it's against reality itself. We know we have to decarbonize our future. If we don't, it's a horror. People are going to die.
Okay, so people are going to die. Greg, the Democrats have said that the president's health care plan will kill people. The president's climate plan will kill people, and now his budget will kill people. Have we reached the boy who cried wolf stage?
They never read that story by their parents.
No.
Because they can't stop. You know, Shelby Steele has this great phrase called poetic truth. It's false truth that actually replaces real truth. If you were to ask any of these people, what is the global mean temperature, right? They would not know. It's 59 degrees. Then if you asked them, is it warmer or colder than it was 7,000 years ago? They would not know. It is actually cooler now than it was 7,000 years ago. If when they come and they tell you the statistics about it being the hottest temperature ever, or the hottest year ever, if you ask them what the increase was, they wouldn't be able to tell you that every single year that there's an increase, it's within the margin of error, meaning it isn't increasing. So when those are called real truths, the poetic truth is the chaos and the hysteria, because that plays to the media and it makes you feel so important. And you get to punish America for being so successful by doing these stupid deals. But if you read the facts about the high temperatures, about the reality of our past, it's all BS.
Wow. Juan, try not to go crazy right now. We don't want to repeat it yesterday. Would you like to respond to that?
Well, I feel a heat wave coming. I'm getting fired up inside.
That was a Juan wave.
Yeah, really.
Up green.
Yes, I got to get the greenhouse effect.
Going up 1 degree.
Yeah, because I just think, you know, Greg, you're talking about when the earth was created and fires bloomed everywhere.
7,000 years ago?
Yeah, that's what you said. That's what you said, bro.
Oh, my God. No. I said 7,000 years ago in a different era. I didn't say when the Earth began.
That's okay.
When did the Earth begin, Juan?
Okay.
Come on, Juan.
I don't know.
You're a religious man. When did the Earth begin?
Let me just tell you this. If you still want to fight with NASA and with the National
This is such old hat.
But let me just say,
you are so desperate.
Oh, yeah,
you are so desperate.
Because you know what? Because I know the facts and you don't have the facts.
I just gave you facts and you give me opinion.
You know what you give me? You give me spin and arrogance and stubborn-headedness.
Okay, let me ask you. What is the global mean temperature?
That's a ridiculous
It doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't matter?
You just told me so I can repeat what you said.
You don't even remember what he said.
I don't care what he said either.
It's 59 degrees. So you didn't know it.
I knew what you said.
You didn't know the past. You don't even know. You don't even know the extreme weather changes.
Excuse me.
You know nothing about this.
But
you are so sad right now, Juan. You can't handle it.
Let me just tell you something.
One last word, then we're going to move on.
Okay, because you know what?
You just got destroyed.
Oh, yeah. If it was bad breath, yes. But let me just say this. When you look at the reality, and I don't think there's any question that temperatures are... You can't let me speak because he doesn't have facts.
Because you're condescending.
No, I'm not condescending.
You said when you look at the facts. I stated the facts.
This is not going anywhere. This is not going anywhere. KG.
But he didn't state the facts.
I did. To say
this is about
all this hysteria.
This actually isn't about real climate science. This is about money. And it's about who would contribute to these funds. And obviously the UN and other European countries are upset because we were supposed to contribute, that President Obama beleaguered the American taxpayer with an obligation to contribute $3 billion towards this. Why should we have to pay this? Like, this was not a good deal to begin with. It doesn't mean that President Trump will not examine this issue and look at the science behind it and decide what kind of agreement that he feels comfortable, that is good for America to be a part of, not one that places an undue burden on our country and our economy, but one that is fair and equal and proportionate as it relates to our obligations monetarily, et cetera, and other countries.
Can I interject a quick point here?
Really quick one.
Very quickly, let me say that major American oil companies, major American companies like Mars, and major American cities and states are all saying this was a mistake. It will hurt our economy, not help us.
The
First
candy
time
bar?
Juan agreed with the oil companies.
Wait, the candy bar?
Yeah, even the Mars
Well, you
people.
go major oil companies and Mars.
I'm
That's
telling
a candy
you,
bar
Hewlett,
company.
I just wanted to mention a few, but
Dana.
Hewlett Packard, I could go on.
That's not an oil
Dana, let me just ask you a question, because I'm getting annoyed at this talking point from the left. They're saying all these other countries are doing it, so why can't America? It's like, you know, when a kid gets caught smoking cigarettes and all my friends are doing it, Mom. It's not an excuse.
Well, I think that the national leaders who supported Paris Agreement, including President Obama, had their domestic politics in mind. Okay, so that helped President Obama with his domestic politics. President Trump also had a political interest in selling yesterday's move for his domestic audience.
Right.
Okay, Macron today, he's talking about the world, but really he's a new leader. So this is all. Remember, this all goes back to domestic politics, and it appears to me that basically what we're doing is nullifying an insignificant agreement that was non-binding. And so now what you have is what I think that the leaders did. They got to the Paris Agreement because they couldn't get anything else. They couldn't get anything binding. None of them sent it to, well, actually, I'm sorry, President Obama didn't send it to our Congress because they wouldn't have approved it. That's the same with Kyoto. So they tried to go around that. And we basically are walking America down a path to be committed to these other agreements in terms of the economics. Now, I don't think that the White House did a good enough job in explaining that in the lead up to it, because the whole story was about the drama. Will he or will he not?
Yeah.
Is he going to take this side or will he take that side? It all became about the palace intrigue instead of explaining to people exactly why the economics didn't make sense.
And Trump did a very good job explaining that, but it was all about the Trump announcement.
But I got to respond to that. Also, the climate clerics failed to persuade as well. Their arrogance prevented them from explaining the mechanics of this accord. If you explained it better. Also, I mean, Juan, I think we can agree on this. We have to continue to look at the science and invest in R&D. Do you not agree with that?
Yes.
And that means finding cheaper renewable energies.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. The economies, it's the economics that matters.
That's what we're doing.
Okay,
and we're reducing emissions. And by the way, if this went through and President Trump didn't withdraw from the Paris Accord, we would be seeing endless lawsuits where people would be bringing cases forward, forcing the United States government to implement and comply with certain sections of this. We see the Ninth Circuit and the Fourth Circuit again.
And Juan, because he cares about the environment, is going to walk back to Washington, D.C.
Now, let me respond.
He's going to take Amtrak.
Let me just quickly respond to Greg and say, look, American business leaders wrote to Donald Trump. He's supposed to be the businessman president. They said this is something we want. It's good for American business, good for the American economy.
Well, then he can do a better deal.
President Trump's controversial travel ban has now reached the Supreme Court. Will the justices back the safety measure or block it? Up next.